Hey everyone, welcome to Equivalent Fractions Part 2. Happy Thursday. I hope you're all doing well and hanging in there. First of all, I wanted to show you that where we left off was on slide 5, and then today we're on slide 6, 7, and then if you look at 8 and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, and 15, well, those slides would probably be better if you could print them. If you don't have a printer, don't worry, you can work with me here on YouTube. But if you do, just go ahead and print them up and they'll totally help you. Or if you want, I can email them to your parents if they can print them at work or something. And I'm going to show you how to print them. So this is our lesson, but let's go to Google, to our waffle. And so we're going to go to the waffle. We're going to go to Google Classrooms. And then we're going to go to our math classroom. Whoops, didn't mean to move that. We're going to go to our math classroom. And it's right there at top. It says posted a new material today at 11:05. And it's Equivalent Fractions Part 2. Click on that. And then it's a PDF. It's NYS Common Core PDF. Click on that. And then it will take a little minute to load because there's so many pages. See how there's just one right now? So now they're all in there. So you probably remember this. We've used these a lot. We do the problem set together. Exit ticket is usually you do on your own so I can check for your understanding, but we're going to do it together. And then the homework's on your own. So it'd be really fun for you to try this homework on your own to see if you can do it, and then take a picture or email it to me, send it to me. You don't have to, but it'd be cool if you did. And then if you want to print it, you go see up at the top, that printer icon, you just click on that and they'll print. And if you want me to email it to someone, I can do that too. Or if you just want to watch, that's fine. So then we go out of here and we go back to our lesson and let's get started. So we're on thirds today, and don't forget to smile. Okay, so we have our number line and it's broken up into thirds, but we're going to try and we're going to put it in squares, and then we're gonna find the equivalent fractions for everything by putting it in drawing. So let me pick a color for our square, okay, and then I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. We're gonna do 4 of them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry guys, I'm not perfect. And then let me get that off. This whole square is equal to 1. This whole square is equal to 1. This whole square is equal to 1. Hold on, my timer's going off. Okay. And then this whole square is equal to 1. So the first way we're going to do it is we're going to put this into thirds, this box into thirds. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to put this box into thirds. 1, 2, 3, because we're working with thirds. This box into thirds. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And the denominator down below is 3. That's why we're breaking up into thirds. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to write 1/3. So let's go ahead and shade all of the 1/3. Okay, so I'm going to change my color. And I'm going to shade all of the 1/3, all of them. 1/3. Okay. Now, I'm going to find the equivalent fraction of 1/3. And first, I'm going to multiply this next box right here. So we're going to have 1/3. I'm going to multiply this one. Remember our formula? So you go 1/3 equals, and I'm going to do 1 times 2, and then keep your denominator the same, 3 times 2, okay, and then I'm going to solve that, and that's 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6, so 2/6, and then I'm going to break this box in half because it's the numerator says 2, so that's half, okay, and then our box should represent 2/6. And then we're going to do the same going forward with this box, but we're going to have this one be 1 times 3. And then the numerator, which is right here, is 3 times, and you keep whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. So since I have 3 up there, I do it down here. And then we're going to break that box up into thirds now, since our number's 3. And then 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So our box should represent our 3/9. 1, 2, 3, right? Out of how many parts of the denominator? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, moving on to the next one. Since we did 2 here, 3 here, our next number is what? 4. So we're going to do 1 times 4 over denominator's 3, and then whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom, so 4. And we're going to break the box up into 4s this way. And then we're going to solve. 1 times 4 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. And then our box should represent our fraction that we got, 4/12. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. And now count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's move on. This is called cursive, folks. Remember those? We've done that before. Okay, next page. Now, what if we work with a non-unit fraction? Non-unit fraction. So let's let me get my box. We have 2/3 now. So let's make 2 boxes right here. And remember, the denominator is 3. Denominator down below, 3. So we're going to break our boxes up into 3 parts. 3 parts. Okay. Now let's take, if we're trying to figure out 2/3, right? 2/3 equivalent. What is equivalent to 2/3? Well, let's start with the number 2, and we'll go 2 times 2 over the denominator, which is 3, times 2. So that means we're going to, since we're using the 2 right here, we're going to break our box up into half. So cut it in half. And then solve. 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 2 is 6. So equivalent to 2/3 is 4/6. Okay, now since we used 2, let's use the next number for this box, and 3. So we're going to use our numerator of 2 times 3 over our denominator of 3, and we keep the 3. Whatever we do to the top, we do to the bottom. And since we used the 3, we're going to break our box up into thirds going this way. Okay, and oh, I forgot. On this first box, we've got to shade it in. So we've got to shade in the numerator, which is 4, so 4 boxes. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, now coming here, let's solve. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And we need to shade in the 6 boxes out of 9. Okay, moving on. So if you have this, great. If not, we'll just work together. Okay, so it says use the folded paper strip to mark points 0 and 1 above the number line, and 0 over 2, 1/2, and 2, which equals a whole. Remember, this is always going to equal a whole. So let's go ahead and write on our number line. You don't have the folded paper strip. If you did, that was in your Google Classrooms in math, and it was the fraction strips. And if you have that and you want to cut it out, you're more than welcome to do that. You don't have to, though. You can just watch. So we're going to put 2 points on the number line, and we're going to have 0 over 2 here, and we're going to have over here is 2, 2, which means you get the whole thing. And then we're just going to cut it in half. Okay, so let's put it right in half and label that 1/2. That's supposed to be a 1, guys. Okay, so there's your 1/2. And that's what we're going to be working with right here. So draw one vertical line down the middle of each rectangle. One vertical line. Okay, so let's do that to each rectangle. 1, 1, 1. Achoo! Excuse me, guys. Okay, another one. And then it says shade the left half of each. Okay, so let's shade the left half of each. And they each are, those are all 1/2 right now, right? Which is right here, the 1/2. Okay, now we're going to use multiplication to show the change in the units. So how are we going to do that? They gave us an example on this first one. And this is our formula. Don't forget, it's very important. Whatever you do right here, the 2, you do to the bottom. So they did 1 times 2, so they're saying that 2/4 is equal to 1/2. But to make this true in the box, you have to cut it in half because the 2 is half. Cut it in half. So now we have 2 shaded for our numerator and 4 pieces. Okay, so let's take our next number and let's do 3. So we're still working with half, right? You see a half there. Our formula now we're going to use, instead of a 2 like they did, we're going to go 1 times 3. And then the denominator 2 times 3. And we're going to cut this box into thirds because we're using a 3. Okay, and then solve. So 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, and our box should reflect 3. Our numerator shaded in 3 out of 6 pieces. Okay, moving along, you're going to do, since we used 2 in the first box right here, we used 2 here, 3 here, now we're going to use 4. So 1/2. And then our formula is 1 times 4, 2 times 4. So we need to cut this box into 4 pieces. Okay, and then 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So our box should reflect our numerator shaded in of 4 out of 8 pieces. Okay, now you see the pattern 2, 3, 4. Yep, you're right. What's next? 5. So we're going to have our half. And then 1 times 5. And then the denominator, 2 times 5. So we need to cut this across in 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then solve. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. And then our picture reflects that. Good. So if you read read the problem above the squares, and it says right here, to show the equivalent fractions of 2/4, which we did, or they did for us, 3/6, which we did, 4/8, which we did, 5/10, which we did. And these are all equivalent to 1/2. Okay, so number 2. Use the folded paper strip to mark points 0 to 1 above the number line and 0, 3, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3 below it. Okay, well, this is easy. We just basically put a starting point, right? And that's 0/3,